All right, hey, it's us. What
What's
up?
Back again.
I still got to get the lighting right. Look, it's just this time it seems a little too, but the definition's good.
It's coming back up.
I
Can
know,
you see
right?
it just right? Nah, it's going back.
I know, I hate that.
It
So
goes back and forth.
obviously, by looking behind, I haven't got the studio flipped around with and the walls done and the green screen.
It's
and
all right.
The lights are like too high and too close, and it seems to be
It's all right.
causing.
You can see my hair on. That's all I'm caring about.
Exactly.
There we go.
Me too. I think there's a strand sticking out through me cap.
Got to get my hair right.
Yes, definitely do that. So anyway, we got a great show for everybody today. For those of you that have been loyal listeners to What's Happening Entertainment Radio, we mentioned Jill Santibanez over at Nashville Entertainment Weekly. She has sent us a load of music
Good
over
stuff.
the years.
Good stuff.
You know, some good old country, rising stars, that kind of thing. So we got her coming on. She was also the host, one of the two hosts of Girl Boss Next Door.
That was a good show.
That was a good show. I was starting to get into it, and I was like, "Hey, man, you got to send me some more shows." And she's like, "Oh, we don't have any more." I'm like, "Well, Jill, when you got more shows,
yeah, send them back.
Right here, ignore the Punisher. I'm more like a reciprocator than a Punisher. How about you?"
I don't know what I am anymore. I think I'm just a laid back, don't mess with me kind of guy. Maybe.
Well, then if you're a don't mess with me kind of guy, are you the retaliator?
Actually, I think I thought about this today. So I have about 5 levels, and they equivocate to like DEFCON 1 through 5.
So today you were thinking about this, knowing that the topic wouldn't come up on today's show.
It popped in my head.
You must be psychotic.
Maybe. Well, you mean psychic, not psychotic. That would be more you.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'll go with that.
But, DEFCON 5, which is like the minimalistic, is when you're okay and nothing's going on. DEFCON 4 is when you're the, let's just say, a-hole, and you might say something a little bit brash to somebody. DEFCON 3, you've actually hit, SOB, and you've gone off on somebody. DEFCON 2 is when you've hit the MFer, and it's almost full on. And then DEFCON 1 is just basically when you're that horrific bastard, and everybody has really been nuked. So yeah, those are the 5
you
levels.
gotta like it. You're like the donkey in Shrek. You got all those layers to peel back. Oh, it was Shrek himself.
I don't know. Shrek himself was just a big green guy, looked a little bit jolly, and I mean, every time you turn around, say, "Donkey!" and here comes the donkey running.
Donkey!
Yeah, and the donkey, of course, was Eddie Murphy, so he was kind of wisecracking. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter.
It was like an ass went to Beverly Hills Cop movies.
Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, when you sit there and you see a jackass with the voice of Eddie Murphy, that's hilarious.
It is hilarious. I love the Shreks. Now, they overdid them, by doing like 562 of them.
Well, I know they started doing that with a lot of stuff. Have you noticed that they're taking a whole lot of like movies and making ridiculous sequels, or either they're taking older movies that were great and making remakes that suck?
Right. It's stupid. I got to tell you.
I want to tell them, just leave it alone.
Look, our names are up there now.
I like that.
I know, right?
Now they know who we are.
Right. So when Jill comes on, and by the way, Jill Santibanez, of course, I'll reiterate, she was one of the co-hosts of Girl Boss Next Door. We played it here on What's Happening Entertainment Radio. It was only in audio form. And her husband's or boyfriend, I'm sorry, I don't know the relationship, is going to be joining us tonight. Significant other, TJ Cates. And when I looked at him,
love that man.
I mean, we're actors. We just haven't made it to the Guild. Not that we really care too much in community theater, but I mean, between the two of us, I mean,
I would have loved to have caught a big break at some point.
It's not over, baby. I'm 10 years up on you. I still have hope.
Here's the thing. I look at it like
Morgan Freeman.
Right. He didn't ever get into big time until he was like in his 60s.
There you go.
And for me, I wouldn't want to be, if I could hit it big, not necessarily on stage, but as a tech guy. I would love that. If I could just get a really good paying job as a tech guy, I would be happy with that, because I would get the chance to be creative at the same time and get paid good for it. That's kind of, the dream right there. But, right now I can just dream and just keep going.
By the way, you listeners out there, if you want to comment, we are live on what's happening North Carolina, Southern Virginia, our main page, or over on What's Happening Entertainment Radio, or if you're on YouTube or live at the moment. If you feel like commenting, you want to add to any topics, you got a topic you like Tim and me and Tony to talk about. I almost did myself in the third person. Did you hear that?
I heard
that was crazy stuff, man.
You referring to yourself?
Yes. But let's go to the comments. Our buddy Down Under, of course, he has a show Monday through Friday, and it's back on What's Happening Entertainment Radio, Australian Radio Indie, where you get to hear Jonesy, his stories. Yes. You get the flavor and the taste of Australia. Great music
Jonesy from Down Under.
Yep, rock and country music.
He's been a real comrade in what we do here.
So he just messaged us. It says, "Hello back from." Oh no, that's me. Hello back down. No, that's me. Hello back. Yeah. Where's his? Oh, hello to my mates in the States. I'm not used to reading these comments. They're live and they come in from YouTube and 2 different Facebook pages. It's kind of funny.
Well, at least they're coming in. I mean, we get to communicate here. Before, we never really get to communicate with anybody, and we didn't ever get to go live. We were always, well, yeah. Welcome to Sunday night, and we'd be recording on a Thursday.
We would. By the way, next music scene, we're going to invite Jonesy on to join us.
Cool.
We haven't put out a music scene in a while because the music. I don't know about your neck of the woods, wherever you're listening to, but in our neck of the woods, it's a little slow with new music. I mean, Martin Terry's got 3 coming out. We have 2 of them. I've been asking him to send me the 3rd so we could do a music scene showcase.
We're hoping our local guys that, they want to do some more stuff. And we have some other local bands and even tribute bands that would like to get more exposure out there. I've talked to you before about a band called Women and Children First, which is
that's the Van Halen tribute band. Yes. Well, why don't we arrange to get them on?
Well, we need to do that. I had talked with Todd Barrett, who is the bass player. And this was back during the summer, and he had asked about this. And I told him, I said, Todd, we'd be glad to have you guys.
But now look at our capabilities.
We have this capability now. So now I would like to have Todd and the rest of the band on. They're a talented group of people. You have Keith as your guitar player, which he is amazing. Then you have Maverick, your lead singer, this guy here.
I watched him in the video clips you did. Now, we're talking about a Van Halen tribute band called Women and Children First that play in our neck of the woods. And the front man is, you would almost think it's Diamond Dave at that age doing what Diamond Dave does.
I mean, the guy puts on the persona. He puts on the outfit, the getup. He just goes hard into it. And he has so much energy. And then the drummer, Jolene. She's phenomenal behind those drums. I've never seen somebody play drums so hard in my life. That was amazing to me. I mean, they rock, and I'm looking forward to seeing them again. Cool group of people, awesome folks. And yeah, Todd, Keith, Maverick, Jolene, if you guys are out there watching us right now, I promise that we're going to get to you. We're just upping our capabilities here, and now we have the capability to get you guys on here, and you won't even have to leave the comfort of your home.
That's
That'll
correct.
Be a great thing. So you can just join right in. We'll make an arrangement. So we're going to be reaching out.
All right. Well, this sounds like a music scene topic. Now, by the way, while we're waiting for TJ and Jill to join us, we told them somewhere around the 7:15 mark. Whenever we see them in our cyber green room, we will bring them in. However, let's update you a little bit on what's happening. Entertainment.com, our online magazine. There's been a lot going on. So if you want to see our the Gallery Theater's first ever improv comedy challenge,
great show.
Go to our YouTube or our Rumble under What's Happening Entertainment. We did great. I mean, the comedians that came out, and I don't even have all their names, but just the name, the Hunter family. Troy Fitz, Matt Myers, Lori Harders, Colleen Curley came out of nowhere.
Gator Ricky Ross.
Gator did our stand-up on the show. Maddie Dunblow, our beautiful ring card girl. Norman Askew, my co-host.
David Hasty.
Tony in the booth, baby. David Hasty on stage. A whole community came out to have fun and compete for cash and prizes at the Gallery Theater on Main Street.
Don't forget my partner in crime in the booth up there.
John Long, baby.
my sound engineer there with me. So we did all the checking there for the show. So we got to see it from a bird's eye view. And Tim and Norman had a lot of fun there on stage and got to really bring the comedy and the liveliness to it.
You know, we were doing that show, I realized next time that we do it, you know, being that was the first ever show that we did like that, it rolled good.
It rolled really good.
But from a performer standpoint and a director standpoint, Norman and I already know things that we can do much better. There can have been more comedy from the host, and we did great. You guys are going to laugh. You're going to enjoy yourself.
Well, I tell you what, next time, this is what I'd like to do. I will find somebody else that I can train, but you guys are having a lot of fun. I think the three of us could put our team back together.
Well, I do too. And here's
sit
the
up
thing.
there together and really bring something.
I kind of miss you not being on stage, but I understood you had to be in the booth. We're still trying to train new people to run the sound booth. But John's coming along good. Good job, John. We got Greg, from Amber's
Yes.
other half. He wants to be trained up there.
Mm-hmm.
And my whole thing to Amber was, if somebody else gets trained up there and there can be two people up there, you get to enjoy just directing or acting.
Yeah. I'd love to have it where I could just be an actor for once and not worry about what's going on in the tech room.
I know.
I'm always the guy who has to be taking care of the tech room, but you know what? It's a calling, and when you do it, you always want to make sure that you put everything you got into it. You want to make sure things go as smoothly as possible.
You do.
Things don't always go perfect, but you always make an attempt to make sure it goes as good as it can.
Exactly right. All right, we're going to get on. I know we have viewers from all over the world, but right now we're going to get on to some local information. And if you happen to be sitting in Australia, Japan, London, England, Ukraine, definitely the Ukraine, you could use a vacation. You just come on down to North Carolina, because in our little corner of the world, why did I just do that?
I don't know. And I'm sitting there looking at that picture, and God knows.
Look at me.
Look at me. I'm just sitting
hold on.
there.
They can't see what we're seeing, so we're not making any sense to them.
It's hilarious. I'm sitting there looking at that, and I'm like, I look like this big angry guy.
Anyway, people, if you want to play along, go to what'shappeningentertainment.com right now, and we're gonna play along. We're going to talk about upcoming events that are coming to our area, and we're going to start with Hertford County and area, which covers, well, Northeast North Carolina, to be honest with you. I had the privilege of, we had the privilege of interviewing and having on our show Patrick Suarez,
yes,
from the chief from the Meherrin Indian tribe here in Hosky, North Carolina. And then that night I went over late to the powwow. It was a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this past weekend. And I went over there purposely around 5. Right. I got some good pictures. You can see the picture here.
You did take some really great photos.
Right. So if you guys are on what'shappeningentertainment.com, click on Hertford County area page, and you'll see some of the pictures I took. And I also recorded almost every single dance and tribute that the Meherrin Nation did. And that's on video form on YouTube or Rumble under What's Happening Entertainment.
Go check it out. A lot of great culture from the indigenous people of our area.
Yes, and Patrick, if you're listening, you're more than welcome to the video. I plan on sending it to you. I just finished production today, and you can put it on your YouTube. They have no content on their YouTube. They need some content.
Well, maybe they will put the video on.
Maybe they will. Uh-oh. I see Jill and TJ have joined us in the cyber green room. I like that, cyber green room. We have a cyber green room. Hey, guys, wave if you can hear me.
They're looking.
They're looking. Hi, guys. We'll be bringing you on in a minute. I know. Like, she's smiling. He's like, I see it.
There we go.
All right, good job.
The delay.
I know, a little bit. We'll be bringing you on in a little bit. Right now, we're covering some local events for What's Happening Entertainment.com, our online magazine. So go check out the pictures and the video from the Meherrin Indian Powwow, and make sure you get your butts out there next year. It is they're a beautiful culture. They're a warm and welcoming culture.
And the thing is there's so much to learn from the history there.
There is.
Yes.
And you know what Teresa said to me when we were there? She goes, it's too bad the Irish don't keep their culture like them.
It's too bad that everybody doesn't keep their culture like this. If everybody would celebrate their culture in the same way that the indigenous people do, then everybody's culture would be everybody would have a chance for the culture to be exposed and appreciated. They really would.
Yes, they would. I got another message from Jonesy. He said, I'm watching in the studio. Thank you, Jonesy. You're listening. Next music scene. I'm reaching out. We're bringing you on. And if you have any videos to contribute, please, we welcome them from all over the world for music scene. And we do not have a genre with What's Happening Entertainment Radio. Yes, we're rock and country independent artists. But when it comes to our music scene, we don't care.
No.
It can be any music genre. You got a video.
We've kind of been that way from the beginning.
We have been.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do it. We're going to be bringing in our guests, Jill Santibanez and TJ Cates. Welcome, guys. How are you?
They are.
Can you hear me?
Hey,
Okay?
Hi. How's it going?
Very nice. Look, they're
okay?
listening, but the sound doesn't go with
A
them.
little bit of buffering.
It could be buffering our end or yours. It's all good.
It is a little gut.
I think it's on their end because we're not buffering. Guys, if we have a little bit of a communication breakdown, I'll let you know. And don't forget, if something happens, you may still be live. So don't do any weird stuff because you could still be live.
Unlike
no hijinks.
Yeah, I'll be the one to do the weird stuff. So welcome, Jill Santibanez. Am I saying that properly?
You guys doing tonight? Thanks for having us.
We are really buffering with these guys, really buffering. But TJ, I don't know if you can hear me. I'm hopefully that you can hear me, and because you're buffering a little bit on sound on your end, you may want to close any windows that are open on your computer or laptop. That will help the stream come through a little bit stronger.
No, the windows on the computer.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
She's looking around for windows around the.
It's over there in the corner.
Let me close. I'm sorry.
Don't close this.
So,
volume on that.
Okay.
you can get a little more volume on them.
Yeah, because I'm having a little bit of a hard time hearing them.
Oh, by the way, guys, if you're also on YouTube watching yourself, mute your volume. It also plays havoc in the buffering of the live stream. Go figure. No, I'm not picking
How is that? Is that a little bit?
Oh my God, I can hear you fine. Although you look like you're in a one of those 70s Chinese movies. It's funny. Anyway, we're dealing with buffering. I don't know what you guys are seeing out there, but you know, when I pulled up the bio on TJ Cates, TJ, you have a lot in common with us. We're stage actors at our local community theater. It's been one of the last vaudeville theaters left in the country. So we take a lot of part and pride in what we do.
Really?
And I saw that you're actually a guild actor. Ooh. Tell us about that.
Memphis, and there's a I don't know, they call me ethically ambiguous. It's no in between. It's never the Night Scout. Yeah.
He's buffering so badly. Guys, you are buffering so badly. If you want if you want to leave the studio and come back in, you may do it, but you might want to close down some things or clear out your cache. Clearing out your cache is very important. I don't know if you're on a laptop.
We'll do that. Give it 3 minutes. Unless you want to switch over to your phone, Jill.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to take you out for now. They get to see us all big and beautiful now.
Well, hopefully they'll get that straightened up there where they'll be back in without any problem.
Okay, so we're in the green room. All right. I'm typing to her. Let us know when you feel ready. All right, so let's go back to some area events. We're going to go back to what's happening entertainment.com. If you want to check out the pictures from our Gallery Theater Comedy Improv and we have the entire show on video.
Well, you need to check out the entire show on video. It's a great show.
Yep.
We were lucky to have somebody out there that volunteered to film this for us.
Hugh from Chowan, thank you. He was one of our local university student volunteers trying to get some extra credit. Thank you very much. He did actually a pretty good job considering he had no stands. He held the camera the whole time right here, and he did it for almost close to an hour and 40 minutes.
That's
hardcore.
Yeah, that is hardcore. That's when you really are dedicated to what you're doing.
Absolutely.
So,
all right, so let's talk a little bit more about what's coming to our area. Of course, we just talked about the things you want to see. If you're into Halloween, this one looks really interesting. It is happening this Saturday starting at 1:30 p.m. at 142 Williford Road in Powellsville, North Carolina. And it's Virginia and North Carolina pullers. We're talking about the zooped up tractors.
lawnmowers, man.
Yeah,
Lawnmower
lawnmowers.
pulls.
Zooped up lawnmowers in Halloween gear.
Yeah. And the thing is, a lot of people just kind of be like, what are you talking about? Lawnmower pulling? And I'm like, yeah, it's a real thing. Just like you would have the big tractor pulls and truck pulls, except they have these souped up lawnmowers these things are monsters. I mean, if you had this thing like just cutting your grass, you cut your grass in like 5 minutes.
Oh, don't I wish. Though I'd be the guy to hit the stump that I didn't see.
Yeah, and throw you over the front of it.
Probably pretty much. And
Yeah.
I'm like, ah!
And the thing is, you make all your neighbors mad because these things have no mufflers and they're really, really loud. They're amazing to watch. So I remember years ago, the first time I saw a lawnmower pulling, and I was like, somebody said, yeah, we're going to watch lawnmower pull. And I'm like, what?
Ah?
And then I come to find out there's not just lawnmower pulling, it's these guys that actually swoop them up and race them on dirt track. They have lawnmower racing. And I'm sitting there thinking, you can outwalk a lawnmower usually. And of course, now what do you have? You have lawnmower racing where these things run extremely fast. It's amazing just when you think about it.
It is amazing. And
So-
you know what? Jonesy just interjected. Jonesy, again, thank you, buddy. He said, your guests need to be on StreamYard. Now I'm thinking, actually, StreamYard is free. So they could actually enter the studio through StreamYard. So we're going to have to do that. We'll have them just join StreamYard. They can do it free. On our side, we actually have the pro package. So we can have.
That's what we do. So we're learning this.
We are learning
Yeah,
it.
it's a learning curve here. So everybody that's with us, we appreciate your patience and bear with us here on this.
Believe me, we have some amazing shows in the works, but we're kind of waiting to perfect what we have before we're going to step into the bigger arena.
True.
And that
I'm
will
sure
be the
everybody's
next-
looking at me thinking, why is he drinking out of a cheap solo cup? How do you like my little redneck wine glass, people? Isn't it cute?
Does that fold in?
It
and
doesn't.
Pull out?
No,
That's not, what would you call it, periscopic?
it's just plastic. It's a gimmick,
Ah,
which is full of delicious rockfish whiskey.
that's funny. I do like me some rockfish. When you get this low in the bottle, you really kind of hold on to it for a while.
Well,
So you poured it all in your
I
cup.
poured it all. That was the last of it, so I've got to get another bottle.
All right, let's get back to what's happening in our area, folks. So you got, again, on Saturday, 1:30, the Virginia and North Carolina Pullers Halloween Pull. They got a costume contest, family-friendly, concessions, tons of games and candy. All pullers are welcome to bring candy for the kids. So make sure. Now, if you don't know where this is, I made it real easy for you. Go to what'shappeningentertainment.com or online magazine, click on the Hereford County area page, and boom, there it is.
Look it up on Google Maps or Google Earth.
Exactly
That'll take
right.
you right to it.
All right, let's see what we got. You know what? I'm going to go over to my personal Facebook page because I don't like to get political, and we don't do it on the show anymore because everyone's kind of already picked their sides. But there was something that really triggered me, and I'm not talking about triggered like I'm going to go out and protest and throw feces on people outside of an abortion clinic. I'm not talking about.
No.
No.
All right.
Oh, by the way, Citizen Freedom has written a new column, and it is on Diversified Writers Group. It is a subsidiary Facebook page of What's Happening Entertainment, and it is in tribute to writers, columnists, article writers, really poets. I mean, David Hasty submitted an amazing poem about 2 months
David's
ago.
very talented.
He is very talented. David, if you're listening, man, we appreciate you greatly. We're talking about one of the volunteers in our community. And I don't care where you live, having volunteers that help your community is the only reason your community survives, to be
True.
honest with you.
You got to have people that are willing to step up and put in the time. You know, the one thing about it, people, we got to remember this. Everybody gets, so set aside on political nowadays. You're on the left, you're on the right. Man, we're being played on both sides here by, people, actors in both sides of this that are meaning to split us. So what we need to do here is just put aside those political lies that we have been given, and let's come back together and say, look, no more. It's time for us to really say, you know what? We're tired of the smearing on both sides. We're tired of the lies generated by both parties. We need to come back to the middle, and we need to show that we are actually united people and that we are all of the same nation here, not separate.
It's funny that you kind of say that, we are one people. I don't know if we really are one people, to be honest with you.
We have been before. And
we were.
Technology and misinformation, I believe, have really set us apart. There is I don't know what you would call it, but there is a driving force out there that means to divide people for whatever sinister purpose. We haven't figured out the end game of it yet.
The problem is I thought I wrote this column, and I did write this column, but I didn't finish it. And it's kind of sad. I do a lot of what if columns.
Right.
Like, what if we went in that direction? What if we went in that direction? It doesn't mean that that's the direction we have to go in.
True.
And it doesn't mean anything else other than it's a what if.
True.
But segregation, I'm not talking about by race or by weight or financial status or, anything. I'm talking about segregation of social and environmental evolution. There are people among us, we're a shuffle deck of people that some people can't and others will. Some won't and others will. And those that do always take care of those that don't.
True.
But how much of a society, as a human species, could we evolve if we didn't have to always coddle, take care of, and hold hands of those that will not, just won't?
True. I mean, if you look at things that are happening today, it's become commonplace anymore for so many people to just say, all right, well, I'm not going to try hard because somebody else has already got this. I'm not going to do this because someone else has got this. History and society are composed and kept alive by doers, not those that say, well, somebody else will take care of it. It's doers.
Yeah, but human complacency is one of our downfalls.
It is a huge downfall, and we know there are those out there. I can speak personally. There's a common work habit that happens in a lot of places, and this is a prime example of what happens. You have people in a business or work environment. You have those that they barely get by because they are going to do bare minimum. They're going to get paid. They're not going to try. Then you have the overachievers in there that know that the job has to be done. Let's do it. And a lot of times those overachievers end up being your managers who are working managers who, what do? Instead of going there and saying, all right, this employee is not being productive or whatever, let's go ahead and write him up. Let's get rid of him. What does that manager do half the time? That manager goes out there and says, you know what, the job's got to be done. I'm just going to go out there and do it myself and deal with this later. And that employee has skirted by again and has been unscathed and said, okay, well, I can get away with this behavior. Well, after a while, what does that behavior do? It brings down morale on every other employee in the group because that manager is out there. They see that manager doing everything for herself, and they say, well, they're letting that guy get by with doing nothing, and he's getting paid like we are. Why do we need to keep trying hard when this guy is going to do just as good as we are and he's working half as much?
Well, it's like the whole equity, using the term equity. I mean, for its true
Equity should never be used except in the fact that you built it in a piece of property that you own, that you bought, and it accelerated in value. You built your equity.
Well,
that's the only time it should be used.
It's correct. Now, how they're using equity in a social and political movement is not its true meaning.
True.
I use an example of, you stand in front of your house looking at your house.
Yes.
You could be whoever. On the left is Mr. Jones.
Yes.
On the right is Mr. Smith.
Right.
Mr. Jones, he likes a relaxed life. He's okay going to his 9-to-5 job,
Right.
making a little over minimum wage, because he doesn't spend a lot. He likes to drink beer on the porch, and that's the end. That makes him happy.
Yes.
Okay, so, but on the flip side, you got the achiever, the guy who works 2 jobs, or put himself through college, has his own business, is trying to fulfill the American dream. And let me tell you something, as a person, there's been a lot of downtimes in my life, just like yours, just like yours. There's downtimes. And I got to tell you, if it wasn't for the American dream, I probably would have given up a long time ago.
Well, that's the case with any of us. If it wasn't for the fact that we felt like that we could work for a goal, and that goal was out there to achieve, it is still there to achieve. However, certain players in the socialist movement are trying to kill that dream. They say, well, let's just give the dream to everybody. No, honestly,
You can't give the
you
dream
can't
to
give
everybody.
the dream to everybody. The dream has to honestly be earned.
Not everyone can be a movie star, because then there would be no movie stars.
But
everyone would be the same.
You can earn your place of comfort. If you want something bad enough, you can achieve it.
Yes.
I have been from the point of broke, where I lived in a house that I paid $200 a month rent for, that was cold in the winter and hot in summer. It wasn't much to it, to the point where I own multiple properties and have the comfort of saying I don't live paycheck to paycheck, and I can own a lot of things.
I have 9 ducks.
I mean, it is out there. You just have to have the ambition to work for it. Now, does money seem to change individuals? Of course it does. It always has. And sometimes it's better, sometimes it's worse. Honestly, I've seen the times when I have become somebody that I didn't know, and I've had to actually regroup, and I've had to be grounded again to honestly say, well, you know what? Don't let it change the good person that you can be. That's the biggest problem that we get a lot of times. We let things change the good people that we can actually be.
Exactly.
Everybody has the capability of being a good person. There are some people out there that just don't want to act on that. Some people out there that get selfish. But every human being has the capability to be a good person if they want to be that good person.
I don't know if you guys saw this in the headlines, but as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh my God, how ridiculous is this? So a man who lost a duel with a swordsman is linked to a terror scare. But you got to see this guy's face. He lost badly, I would say.
Yeah, I'd say he did lose pretty badly.
He's got head bandages and all kinds of
even
crap
bandaged
going on.
around his chin. I mean, this guy, that looks like he got messed up pretty bad.
It's sort of like if I would have, in the mid-'80s, challenged Mike Tyson to a fight.
You know, I've always heard that, that's been kind of a cliche joke out there. They say, well, would you fight Mike Tyson for $1 million?
Oh,
And
yeah.
some guy says, oh, yeah, I'd fight him for $1 million. And you're going to be that guy after it's over with. So, yeah, I got the $1 million. I can barely squeeze the ball again. I'm eating solid foods again. And that's going to be about 6 months after you've come out of traction and a coma in the hospital, because Tyson's going to put you there.
Yeah, well, that would be an idiot, okay? My whole strategy would be, as soon as I felt a breeze from his fist.
Fall down.
Exactly.
Fall down.
Hell, if he
Over.
farted, I'm like unconscious for, I'm down
Over.
and out. Yeah,
Yeah.
gone.
All I do is walk up there and I'd say, all right, you're going to touch gloves. As soon as he touched my glove, oh, and I'm down.
I'm like, yeah, it's
he
some
wins.
sort of arrhythmia. It went up my nerve. and
Yeah,
like,
he wins. I mean, Mike Tyson, of course he is, he's a trained athlete. This is what he does. So if you think that you're a strong man, tough man, whatever, you can get in that ring with him. By all means, be my guest. You assume your own liability when you do it. But as far as I care, I'm not going to get in the ring with any guy that's trained to be a boxer, because I am not. I am not going to do that. I don't play with my own safety. That's just the way it goes.
Well, take it from somebody who did some boxing back in the day. All amateur, really only one amateur fight ever, and it was in the Atlantic City Boxing Club. There's no way, even in my heyday, when I was pushing close to 180, just muscle, would I be able to knock out or even take a blow from Mike Tyson.
No.
That man was pure power. And then you get those people, those boxing people don't get it. They're like, oh, he's such a beast. He's an animal. He's disgusting. Well, he's a warrior. That's what you want in a warrior.
I mean, that's what the guy does. It plain and simple. It's what he does. Whether you like the guy or not, this is what the guy does.
Oh, look, they're back. Hey, guys. How are you?
Hey.
Oh, my God. It's beautiful.
It's working great.
Look, the
Hey!
lights. The lights
Mike
better than ours.
Tyson,
I
man,
told you.
what a showman, Mike Tyson. Yeah, I was listening a little bit about you guys. I used to box when I was younger before I started bouncing in Memphis, and man, then Mike Tyson came out of the gate, and it's like it changed everything. It changed the sport. It's just like it's not. We would go sit and have dinner and go sit and grab a beer, and we're gonna watch Mike Tyson, and 27 seconds later, it's over.
It's over. Yeah.
I was living in Atlantic City during that time because that's where I
Really?
grew up, and that was during the heyday of closed circuit television. You know, 16 seconds, boom, gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you paid for a whole 60.
That's why they were building up all the undercards, you know, so they could have some.
That's why they need a pre-show. So at least you got your money's worth for something.
So thankfully, God, thank you, TJ, Jill, welcome to the
We have a
show.
floating microphone.
I know. It's like right in the way. I'm like
Look
trying
at
to
this.
throw it a little
It's
bit.
okay.
All
It's
this.
okay.
I'm just
We
gonna
don't
take
even
your
use
mic.
mics. We're so
okay.
high tech that no, we're not. But
Sorry about
Give them
that.
a little bit more volume. I am having a little bit of time hearing them. Let's not try to get any feedback here, but I do need a little bit of
you won't get feedback from this. Just YouTube, some reason causes the feedback sometimes.
Oh, gotcha.
We cut that mic.
You can hear us okay?
We can hear
I
you
can
great.
now. I'm partially hearing impaired, so that's why.
Oh, okay. Well, this is my phone, so the laptop is not. But I guess like the internet is
Laptops are horrible. I hate working on a laptop. So, all right. So let's start again. So we got TJ Case. We got Jill Santibanez. Am I saying your name correctly?
that's perfect.
That's actually really
Good
good.
I
job.
do have language aptitude.
You got it right.
Yeah, woo, go me. I want to start out by thanking you guys. You guys sent us a lot of independent country artists, and we put them on our radio station. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Yeah,
They-
well,
They enjoy
definitely.
you guys. You guys are amazing and everything you do. Thank you for featuring their music videos.
I'm
We're
buttering.
amazing.
I'm buttering toast.
We're amazing.
You guys,
Yeah,
you guys
don't
are
let it
great.
go to your head.
Look,
And
few people
what you do
tell me.
is so exciting. Your show is awesome, and then you have such a reach group. It's a lot of fun.
Well, I'm glad
We
you think so.
certainly
We
appreciate
appreciate
that.
it.
Yeah.
So now I was, obviously, Jill, I'm more familiar with you. We had Girl Boss Next Door as one of our radio shows.
Nice.
People enjoyed that. I got some feedback on that. So
Thank you.
are you going to be doing Girl Boss Next Door again?
You know what? We're thinking about it. Rachel, our other host of that show,
Mhm.
she's amazing, but she has 2 kids, so it's balancing her schedule and then with them in school. So and then of course we have a 3-year-old. TJ and I don't know if you know that we have a 3-year-old, so it's always kind of like when our daughter was either taking naps, but now she's in school. So I just have to touch base with Rachel and see if she wants to do it again. But yeah, you all shared it, which was so wonderful. Thank you. And then we had it on other networks as well, and then social media.
Awesome.
We got a lot of great feedback.
It's
But-
your favorite network.
Yes, but you're our favorite network.
Oh.
That's right.
So obviously, this platform that you're on with us is new to us. We're still trying to learn it, but it's a great capability. I mean, it could be something you could use for Girl Boss Next Door.
Yeah, I love the split screen. This is way
Oh,
cool.
This is cool. I think you guys figured it out. I think it was us that didn't figure it out in time.
I know.
So I
Well-
want to start doing this we're doing so many remote interviews for our national
We do
show.
Skype. Yeah.
Skype,
this is
I
better.
found the quality here so much better.
Yeah.
I mean, I talked to Jonesy over in Australia, who's with Australian Radio Indie, and I
Yeah.
can talk to him for hours. But
Cool.
he did just message me while you guys are struggling to get on. He told me what I did wrong. I got to bring you guys in through where my platform, StreamYard.
Okay.
It has it free. It's free. So
Way
not
cool.
only can you have a show, but you could talk to somebody halfway across the world and not have to pay a dime.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. This
That's
is
a long
great.
distance
What y'all doing is really important.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about your vaudeville.
Hmm?
Your vaudeville? Is that what you said you're doing?
Yes, we have we're actors in an old vaudeville theater right close to us. Community theater is all it is. Gallery theater has been a active business and active theater since 1966.
And even before that, that's when it was bought by the local Chamber of Commerce and assigned by the Women's Auxiliary,
Yes,
believe it or not.
and
It used to
so
be a vaudeville.
yeah, before that it was called the Richard, and that was when it was built back in the early 1900s.
Wow.
And
So they really did have the
Cool.
vaudeville shows. What kind of variety are they? What do you guys do? And what
Well,
are the varieties in there?
we changed everything up, to be honest with you. Not that COVID had a lot of positive points to it, but one of the things that it did do, besides almost break us, it had people reaching out, and we were able to formulate a new direction. We have a lot of young adults, 12 and up, that wanted to be part of the theater. They were bored. There was nothing to do during COVID. And coming out of COVID, we lost a lot of things. I'm
Wow.
sure your community, just
We-
like our community, we lost
We
a lot.
just kind of revamped. I said they're closing down the studios. We closed 2 of our studios we had in Nashville. It's like we have a house. We're on Music Row anyway. We'll just have a home studio.
Right. And Skype saved
Skype
us.
saved us. Skype, Zoom, everything.
And then TJ was so brave. He's like, TJ never gets sick. So he's like, I'm just going to go to places in Nashville. And he honestly didn't believe the whole thing. He's just like, and he never got sick. So
I got it twice, but I didn't care. It is what it is.
Yeah. So it's 104-degree temperature. I mean, some people got hit really hard,
Yeah.
but I did. I'd go have music events out in the streets of Nashville and find some stairwells that had good acoustics, and we would go live on them. And we try to keep music alive. We really pushed hard, and no matter how hard they pushed, I even shot a music video during the whole middle of COVID. I had an artist drive in secretly from Illinois, and we went down to Brentwood down in the park. You had to keep the music alive, and what you guys are doing, man, this is so important. So I applaud you for doing and having this and figuring this out on StreamYard. I love it. I love that aspect. I like your theater, though, man. I wish I was closer to go to that, because that's what I really enjoy
We love stage.
is real people on stage.
Yeah.
we would love to have you guys and see. I can tell you, our history there is rich. And before COVID, we were doing your typical. You would have every season you would have a comedy, you would have a drama, and most seasons would have a musical included. I mean, let me tell you guys something. Back in 2016, we actually put Rock of Ages on that stage.
Oh, that's fun.
And you are looking
That's
at
wrong, man.
Jax right here.
Yeah, Stacey Jacks. I got the role as Candy, the transvestite stripper prostitute.
Oh, no.
So, yeah.
I rocked it, baby.
I can tell you.
You got to own the role. You got to own the role.
So both of you can sing then.
No.
I sang then, and I haven't sang in years. I had been musically inclined through a lot of my youth. I played a lot of instruments in my life, sang a lot. My voice is not what it used to be. I'm more getting down into the low tenor and baritone these days as I age. I'm going to be honest with you. More of that show, I actually, because Stacey Jacks, even though it seems like a major part of that show, was not really the major part of that show. I spent a lot of my time, because we are a small community theater. I was the set designer and builder of that show, and the lighting designer, by the way.
Yes.
I didn't have any choice because we didn't have that many people for crew, and
Right.
I had to step up. We would be there rehearsing nights, doing all that choreography, and once we got through with that, it would be 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. I'd find myself in there until probably 2 or 3 a.m., still building, still putting things together. And then, of course, when it came down to lighting, I programmed over 150 lighting cues into that show.
Holy cow.
Oh, my goodness.
That's huge for a 1900 building. I
And
think the lighting is a challenge.
and right now, we don't have the luxury of DMX lighting. We're still...
I wish we did.
I love DMX lighting, but we just have not had the funds to upgrade to that yet.
Is there any grants to apply for? Any grants?
By the way, here's a picture of him as Stacey Jacks.
Oh, cool.
That's kind of
the bleach blonde hair, the
Wow.
whole works. So yeah, I put that on there. I did what I had to do to make that work. We had a good time.
Y'all even got a good lighting. You backlit and everything. What you're doing right now, you can tell that you figured the lighting out. That's so important. We spend the first 10 minutes for an interview on Skype telling people how to
He does.
do the lighting.
He
It's
does
like,
all that.
and the cameras, and it's so important, you know.
Yeah. And
Well.
speaking of, if you don't mind us plugging this right away. So
Plug
speaking
it.
of like all the actor stuff, So TJ and I are both SAG,
I
SAG
saw that.
eligible actors. Yeah.
Mhm.
But we recently filmed a whole feature film in Mississippi over the past year and a half. And TJ actually filmed it, edited it, and we both starred in it. And it's actually going to be on digital distribution early 2023.
Good for you. I've been in 2 independent movies you will never see.
Yeah,
Really?
you and
As soon as
I,
we can see.
you and I were in one, and I had a major part in that. And then, of course, they turned around and changed the whole persona of the film.
I know.
Oh no.
What films were you in? What type films were
I
you
don't
in?
even remember.
Well, I can tell
one
you-
never left the editing table.
Yeah,
A
well,
lot of
That
them never
one
get
was the one
edited.
I'm mad about. I
Everybody
played
wants to
an
be in
FBI
cameras,
agent. I had a
so
fight scene.
they lose footage, man. My thing would be shoot, like you're saying, dude. You're up there till 2 or 3 in the morning. We would go do our day job. Then we'd go film that afternoon and the evening. Get home at like a 10:30 or 11. I would go straight. I would not go to bed until every piece.
He
I would
edits.
shoot 40, 50 clips for the night.
Yes.
I wouldn't go to bed until I had it double backed up on external hard drives, because I've seen so many independent films that shoot, they don't get them edited. The editor just kind of realizes it's a lot of work, or the footage would go away, or
We had
the
to do
lighting or the
everything.
audio.
Yeah, we had to do everything. But TJ had like the big job of editing it, making it look good, and making it high quality, just so,
So
we
we
could
had a
send it
couple-
off.
We had a couple of distributors,
To
one in
qualify.
Canada and one in Los Angeles. We chose the one in Los Angeles, another friend used, and it'll be all around the world, all the English speaking world. It's a horror film based on us. We moved back to a plantation from the start in the 1800s. My great grandfather had. It's called the Haunted Farmhouse movie, and
The Haunted
and
Farmhouse.
it's haunted.
Coming up.
And Jill doesn't know it's haunted. The small towns people are telling her stuff, and I'm like, it's not haunted. And I'll go back and talk to them. It's like, man, be quiet. She doesn't know, so it grows.
It's based on true events, so it's really
No
cool.
gore, no crazy, no cuss words, no nothing. It's
Right.
just like an old school drive-in movie from the 80s or 90s.
Yeah, it's. we
Tag
think
me
of it-
when you release it. Tag me. I want to see
Thank
it.
Oh, really?
I'll share it out there. You guys are
Yeah,
friends,
you'll get
friends to
coverage.
us.
you'll get coverage on that. And see, let me tell you about the film that Tim and I were both in. So
Yeah.
my first cousin, her husband, was the director and writer of this film. And of course, his actual job, he does film editing.
Mhm.
Ooh.
My cousin, she has always been associated with the actual I don't know exactly how you would term it in the guild, but she's always been an assistant director on a lot of major films.
Cool.
That was her job. So anyway, when he wrote this film, it was called Only Human. That was the name of it. And so it was basically about Zeus goes, he loves the party. He sends his son Hermes to Earth to do whatever. And then, of course, Zeus wants to mate with some beauty that he found. And her husband, he's a crazy kind of guy that's, over the top. And then you have all these other supporting characters in there. Tim was kind of like the
I
drunk
played in it.
stepfather
Mhm.
that, had a
Really?
problem with certain people. And I played the part. I was in a wheelchair for the whole thing. I was a disabled war veteran named Little John, who was always the observer and saw things. Anytime you'd see a scene play out, I was a guy rolling by who was looking at this and seeing it and observing what was going down. Well, the film had a lot of good. We really
That's
were
a
looking
good story.
forward to the film was written. Well, then of course, my cousin's husband decided to take it into another direction, and when we had the reveal of this film, it was nothing like we had even anticipated. The name
Really?
even changed.
What was it changed to? Zeus goes to Miami?
No,
Some
it was,
stupid stuff
and the
like that.
thing is,
Ernest Goes to Miami, is that what you said?
Zeus.
when I say
Oh,
this,
Zeus.
pardon my language, but it was called "Get Your Shit Together, Zeus." That's what he called it.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, "Oh my God!" And when we saw it, I just sat there in this seat watching this film, like, I know this has not happened to what we just did. He bastardized what all of that several weeks we spent.
All your time.
So he must have been
Oh.
self-funded if he didn't have to stay true to the
Dude, I
script.
spent 2 months on a movie I'll never see.
I know, and I mean, well, my wife was in the same film with you,
Mm-hmm.
so
Anyway, listen, we digress. We're not talking about us. You guys.
I
know
like
me.
it.
I
We
like hearing about everybody else.
We like
man.
talking.
We talk about ourselves all
We
day
turn
long.
it into an interview. Like when we get interviews, we ask the people questions and they just go on. We like it.
So we have like 4 talk show hosts. So all we're going to do is ask each other questions.
I like it. I like it.
Exactly.
I
like it.
All right, so let's stabilize a little bit. Jill,
Yeah.
Nashville Entertainment Weekly. All of the you still have that going on, right? Has that
Yes.
taken any kind of hit during? Well, I don't even know what you call what we're in, to be honest with you.
Postcode.
It's not even post. It's not over with yet. They're not done with us, baby. I gotta tell you that. Sorry.
It's gonna be what it's gonna be, dude. I mean,
Huh?
at least we're not shut down.
No. What?
We have a record label, which is Nashville Entertainment Weekly Records. We have a PR company, public relations company, which is Nashville Entertainment Weekly PR. And then the TV show that TJ created that we do via Skype and in person is Nashville Entertainment Weekly. So everything's like Nashville Entertainment Weekly, the TV show, the record label, and the PR company.
We just keep everything the same.
Yeah.
Under one website. It's pretty basic. Yeah. I was working for TMZ and they offered me a 3-year contract.
In Nashville.
I turned it down. As mentioned, Nashville. I want to be in front of the camera, a little bit more control. And I got to go to the red carpet with some people I've been to film, big stars. I want to do interviews. And that's where I met Jill. So that worked out.
Whoop,
And
whoop.
so anyway, yeah, we'd asked for the name of it to get my credentials. I said Nashville Entertainment Weekly. And they're like, oh, yeah, I heard of that. I'm like, no, you didn't. I just made it up. But it's
It
just kind of
sounds
stuff.
good,
And
right?
we're 8
Yeah.
years
It's
in.
got the name that the people recognize.
Well, you know what's funny about you guys and us? We're in the middle of nowhere. Okay, I come
Yeah.
from a city of Atlantic City where it never sleeps. It's action.
I'd
If I
love
stayed
to go
up
to
there, God
AC.
knows what my show would be like. But down here, you're in Nashville. We're in Murfreesboro.
We bought a farm.
Nice.
We're on a ranch. We're like 20 minutes south of Elvis's house. On the same side, we have gates that open, and you drive up the long driveway. Whoops, sorry. And my mom says, this is like going to Elvis's house. I'm like, yeah, but it's not Graceland. But it's just kind of cool. And when we go back and forth, we got an invitation to go to John Rich's house on the 8th, I believe. We're doing a
Nice.
fundraiser because we used to live right around our house, 1,000 square feet. His 3 or 4 stories, 10,000 square feet. Don't
Oh,
get
dear
confused.
Lord.
Yeah, but it was John Rich. We would hike.
I do know John Richards.
But it's like 1250 at Big and Rich, and he's a big producer and doing lots of stuff. But I said, well, this is kind of cool. Then I looked to get tickets. I'm like, okay, I get a ticket. And I thought it said $50. It said $5,000. I'm like,
Wow.
that's okay.
Fundraising.
But he does fundraisers. He's going
Yeah.
to give the money back to
That's
veterans.
great.
So
Yeah.
we go back and forth up that highway. It's a 3-hour drive.
Awesome.
It's nothing.
But
I
during
gotta share
CMA,
this with you guys. So you're talking about John Rich. So the only big concert that I saw when Roanoke Rapids, our local big venue that was supposed to be what we were going to have called Carolina Crossroads,
They're out of business.
and they're out of business now, by the way.
wow.
It's a good name.
The first big concert was 3 major stars. So we had Daniel Peck,
Yeah.
Jason Aldean, and then, of course, the big part of that show was Big and Rich.
Oh, okay.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean,
For
we
sure.
were just country bumpkins, 26,000 of us out in the field.
That's so much fun, dude. Like a
And-
big pasture party.
And I'm telling you, it was amazing because, for one, Danielle Peck, I don't know whatever happened to her. I have not.
She's great.
We see each other in Nashville all the time. We're friends.
I
and
got
I've-
to meet
we've
her in
done
person.
videos.
Yeah,
She's beautiful. She's
she's a
wonderful. She had a
sweetheart.
daughter. Yeah,
She
she's
is
living
beautiful.
in
But I'm
the
gonna tell you something. The camera doesn't do her justice. She is a beautiful, beautiful girl.
she is.
Seeing her in person was just amazing. And then Jason Aldean, his stage presence. This guy, I mean, he is like hardcore country.
He's no Trace Atkins, mind you, but
Yeah.
he holds his own.
And then, of course, when Big and
Yeah.
Rich was there, the
Yeah.
party that they bring.
That sounds like a great concert.
Mhm.
I mean, you got Cowboy Troy with these guys, and then the little guy that was on stage with them. This was like I
The
said, now, this
little
is
guy,
a-
was it like a wrestling midget? What are you talking about?
I mean, he
Little
is
guy.
a little person. I forgot exactly his real name, whatever his real name
Little,
was.
little Jimmy Dickens.
Who?
Huh?
No, little Jimmy Dickens. That's only small person.
But I mean, they
I'm
Don't-
said
surprised you don't tell him about Colt Ford. That was our real
Cole
experience.
Ford's awesome, dude. Cole Ford
Austin,
is
North
super
Carolina.
freaking cool.
Huh?
Cole Ford's like super cool. He just sit there and drink a beer, lean against the wall. He'll shut the
what's
morning
really
show.
funny? So
This is hilarious.
Colt Ford, his bus shows up at our amphitheater in Ahoskie that morning. So
Mm.
anyway, they back it over in the grass and they get it stuck.
In the mud. It rained
Oh,
like 2
no.
days in a row.
So I've got this F-350 4-wheel drive, that I hooked a chain to it, broke my chain trying to pull Colt Ford's bus out of the mud.
Okay, but hold on. You got to interject here. While this was happening, Colt Ford gets off the bus, comes up to me. You know, I've got farm equipment coming, trying to get him out, and he goes, "You know where I can get some chickens and biscuits?"
So we sent Colt Ford to
He's a
Bojangles
big boy.
in a hostage.
That's cool.
Yeah,
man.
and it's
One
so
of our
fun.
volunteers drove them over to get chickens and chicken
So
and biscuits.
it's funny because I'm having unhooked this chain out from under his bus, so I come scotching out from under that bus on my
Scotching
back.
out.
And I look up, and there's Colt Ford standing at the doorway. He's looking at me. He's got a baseball cap on, shorts, and a t-shirt. And he's like, "Hey, man, what's going on?" And I'm like, trying to get yours bus stuck.
He didn't know it was
unstuck,
stuck. He didn't know it was
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he
You're
said,
so
Are you like the worst auto
he said, "I
burglars
appreciate the
ever?
effort, there, man." He said, "I got to get something to eat, though."
And that was history.
Why do you drive a 350? What do you do? That's a big
I
truck.
bought that truck just because I wanted a big truck.
That's the biggest truck you can get next to a 450.
Yeah.
Well, true. I mean, the thing is, I turned around and sold it, and I wish I still had it because now I have
It'd be worth
boat
$1 million
I need.
right
Yeah.
now.
I wish you still had that truck.
Everybody's asking to buy his truck. He has the F-150.
I bought one in Nashville it's when I just bought a Cherokee, and that they were giving that $16,000 rebate, and I dropped by the Ford place. I'm like, I like the grill because it looks like a 250, but I don't want to spend for a 250. And the guy said, "We're giving $16,000 rebate." I said, "I just bought this 8 months ago." They said, "We'll pay it off. We'll still give you 10 grand down." I said, "Do it, man." So I thought my truck was big, but when I go back to Mississippi, man, my truck, my regular 150, and I got a body lift on it. I got some 30s. I got some pretty decent tires, but I think my truck's big. But I got one of the guys I work in development. He drives a H1, and it's like, come on, man, don't park next to me. And everybody's got a big truck. But they don't get like a Hummer H1, the original H1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, but a 350, I would love to be driving a 350 around. Good
Hey,
for you.
guys, we got a question from one of our viewers. They are asking, in fact, it's Jonesy from Australian Radio Indy. They're asking if you know Troy Kemp. He's been prowling around Nashville. He is a very talented country artist from Australia. And
What's his
he's
name?
open for Big and Rich.
Okay. He opened for Big and Rich. Sounds familiar.
We've actually featured in his music on What's Happening.
He, you may want to look into him and maybe invite him into your rotation somehow. He's actually really good, Troy Kemp. He does a song
Are you
called
saying Troy?
And he
Troy.
does a song called Chickadee Boom Boom. Talk about a catchy song. It's
That's
Cool.
I like titles. That's a good one.
But anyway, I digress. Now, guys, for your artists on Entertainment Weekly,
Right there, Troy Kemp.
National
You can
Entertainment
see
Weekly.
that.
There he is.
That's Troy.
Yep.
You know, we would love to have them come on, just like you guys,
Who is this?
Oh, thank
But,
you.
on our music scene show. Which
Thank you.
this is the Hangout. The Hangout is still developing, but music scene is. God, I wish it would go viral, but we average about 1,000 views, and it's growing.
We're
Wow.
That's
really
great, man. Good for you.
That's so exciting. Our artist, I think you've had Amanda Page Cornett's music
I
video.
did. I love Amanda Page Cornett.
her.
She is dropping a new music video. She was gonna do it tomorrow, but I'm like, I want to get it somewhere. She was just gonna like put it off, on her YouTube. And I said, I want to get it on a blog. I want to get it on a network. Give me a couple days.
I need some videos.
Yeah,
It's
well,
dead around here for me.
we haven't premiered it yet, so I don't know if you guys are interested in premiering it, but
We would love to premiere it.
We
We
would.
do that a lot for a local artist. And let me tell you, Six String Showdown.
they're awesome.
That's a killer song.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's an awesome song. That's one of her music videos. 16. Yeah.
Yeah, that is good. Who talking about? Amanda?
Amanda Page
Yeah, I'm like a lot
Yeah,
of
Amanda
radio
Page, she's North
stations. I know
Carolina.
all my artists and all my songs.
That's good to keep up. Now, what do you guys listen to? What do you guys listen to? Like, if you're not, like, you got any old country you like? What do you relate to?
Well, but basically, believe it or not, he's a country bumpkin, but he's a Hair Nation guy.
Yeah, I'm kind of lost in the 80s, man. And when it comes down to it, though, even though I do love the 80s hair metal and the 80s rock, I go back to, Aerosmith, Foreigner, those kind of guys. And then when we got in the late 80s, when hair metal basically made its culmination. Are you going to drink up my whiskey, dude?
No, see if you wanted any more, darn it. I'm
Well-
drinking bourbon, by the way.
I've Yeah, I've got a diversified love of music that actually spans from, say, the late 60s all the way to present day. Now, when it comes back down to 80s music, I used to listen to a lot of, say, believe it or not, Eddie Rabbitt was in one of my music artists that I
I love
love.
the Rainy Nights. Yeah.
I'm from the country, so of course, Bo Cephas, Hank Williams Jr., man.
Oh, all day long, man.
Everybody
All day long.
around here is going to love Hank Williams Jr. forever. Willie Nelson, I've always been a big fan of Willie.
I got a funny story real quick. Willie Nelson played Lake Lenape Park in New Jersey back in, God, I don't know, 1982. And my mom, an older spinster Jehovah's Witness woman, I took her to the concert. She looks over at me and goes, wow, Willie can really fill out them jeans. I'm like, Mom, what the
Oh my goodness.
And you know, the thing is no matter, even some George Jones in there, there are George Jones songs that I've always loved. I come from the generation, man, where we used to watch Hee Haw all the time.
I just did a Hee Haw reunion and we shared it. We shot it in Nashville.
I
Tennessee.
saw that on your Facebook page.
I'm putting it on our Roku channel right now, and I just got it streaming on our television show. I need to have that next week. Yeah, that was cool for me to have that.
You know who we should put you in touch with is George Jones's daughter, Georgette Lennon.
Wow.
They've got a new TV show that
And she's a
just shot.
singer. She's amazing.
We interviewed her a few years ago, and Bobby Braddock, the writer, was out there, and
She's a friend of ours.
they're
Yeah.
doing a tribute to Tammy Wynette. And she
Love
was
some
talking about
jazz.
they're going to do a movie. They just did a movie. They just did a TV series. Jessica Chastain plays Tammy Wynette, and a real notable actor that everybody recognizes, but nobody knows him. They've got a new series coming out, and she got to be part of it about her mom and dad. And it's
So
really
she
close.
can talk about that. She can talk about her music. If you guys ever want to have her on, I think she
My
would really like
favorite.
it.
Whatever we can get here.
And you know, guys, you talk about some of those artists from back in that era. I've always been a big fan of Reba, of course. And then,
She's
of
so
course,
sweet.
Dolly as well. And I'm going to tell you a funny story talking about Dolly Parton. So we talked about Carolina Crossroads, which was in Roanoke Rapids. Well, the big person behind this, that his namesake was on it, was actually Dolly's brother, Randy. Believe it or not.
Cool.
Randy Parton?
Randy Parton. And that wasn't an entirely successful relationship with the city of Roanoke Rapids. So I'll tell you this to tell you guys a funny story. So we go to this concert that day. We get there before anybody starts playing music. We're walking around in there. There's vendors everywhere. Just wanted to get in there because I had actually not been back on the lawn. I bought seats for my wife, myself, and my son. We wanted to be up close and personal. So we were about 10 rows back away from the stage. That way we could actually get a good show. We could have some place to sit.
You don't know where to be from.
Well, I kept seeing this guy walk around in there, and he looked I can't say anything, but he looked awful. I mean, he had this hair that looked like it hadn't been washed or brushed in a week. He had on this dirty flannel shirt over this dirty white beard. The jeans looked like they were just beat up, dirty work boots, and he looked like that he had been on a 5-day drinking binge. So when this whole thing starts, this guy gets on a microphone. It's Randy Parton.
Really?
Oh my goodness.
It is
Was that
Randy
just
Parton.
his image he was trying to portray? Was that what he was trying to do?
I don't know, but I was sitting there thinking, I looked at my wife, I said, if you're going to be at an event for this in honor of your namesake, perhaps maybe you would have bathed and put on some better clothes. I mean, honestly, I looked at that. And of course, I tell you guys this because what happened was the whole Randy Parton Theater, which there is a physical theater that still exists there in Roanoke Rapids. They call it Roanoke Rapids Theater. It's about a 1,500-seat theater. It had his name on front of it, Randy Parton Theater. Well, somehow or another, for about $26 million, he took that city for, and now they can't even sell this place for about $1.5 million.
Oh my goodness.
It's a great venue. I know people that are interested in it. The last party that had it, they had some good shows come. In fact, it was just last
38
Christmas.
special.
Yeah, last Christmas I was there in a box seat watching Winona. I knew enough people where I could go there and actually box seats are the only way to experience theater like that.
Yeah.
I've never been in a box seat. I'm
gonna tell you something. The box seat is where the party is. because the bar's outside the door. The security doesn't bother you because you can act up and you got your own crew in the box seat. So that's the way to experience it. So we were lucky to have that. But soon after that, of course, the theater shut down again. I've seen some amazing shows there. One of the best shows was called Wizards of Winter. They're a band that's very much like Trans-Siberian Orchestra, but even though they have some of the same former members, a little bit different. Great show. Had a great experience with that. But now it's closed again. And we're really hoping somebody can maybe get this back going. The problem is where it's located, the demographic really can't afford to support.
Right. Yeah. What about Stella Parton? I mean, she always carried herself like a class act.
Who's that?
Stella, Dolly's sister, Stella Parton.
You know, I've never had
hair, looks similar without the I don't know. It's just funny. We see that some people that have a lot of money, they want to look like they're starting out, but the people starting out want to look like they made it. In Nashville, we see that all the time. It's like, you can do better, man. So we always try to dress nice when we go out to events because, like you guys, we just never know who we're going to run into. One night out ran to the Kroger, there was Reba, and we passed each other. We sat at the produce section and stayed this wherever. You run into people like all the time, dude.
And at Target, we ran into Crystal Gale.
So you want to be dressed nice and
you make your brown eyes blue.
Crystal Gale liked her some TJ, by the way.
It depends on who we meet, if we're going to play the Jill angle or the TJ angle. It's easy to play the Jill angle.
It's like, will you take a picture of me? And TJ, will you take a...
So, but it's really cool. But dress for success, man. You know, be attractive if you want to attract people and attract things around you. It's so simple.
It's positive.
He's got his own chair. Look, it says TJ Gates on it. I got to get me one of them.
He's a director.
I was going to sit in it, but then all you would see is like the waist down. And I don't know if it's like
right.
Well, you know, we have kind of our own claim to fame here. A guy who's actually had some, he's got a contract out in Nashville. And you guys have probably seen us through RT Johnson. So RT has actually had the privilege of being on stage with John Michael Montgomery.
Oh, man, that would have been great.
If you guys want to hear one of the best country songs, look up RT Johnson, Fire Water.
Yeah, the guy's got some great
Fire
originals.
Water is just a kick-butt song.
Thirsty Weather is another great one.
That's his newest one.
What is it, RT Johnson?
RT Johnson, yes.
Fire and Water.
Now, I think Fire Water like Indians, right?
Yeah.
I'd like to talk about what TJ brought up about trying to save music in our area. Now, guys, I don't know about your area, but we're losing a lot of our venues.
Is that him? I'm sorry.
That's
RT.
Right there. That's our buddy.
Cool.
Fire Water. Love that song. So
I'll put it in my. Okay, I'll go back and listen to it.
Our venues are changing. They're transitioning. Where our music hubs used to be, now it's a bowling alley.
Yeah.
Now it's on the marina instead of a bar. Have you noticed a shift?
Well, the COVID was really hard, and one thing that hurt us really bad is we promote artists, and they pay us because we don't take residuals or anything like that.
Royalties.
We don't take the royalty. We don't take anything. We just charge a small monthly fee just so Jill can spend time on them every month and then social media and everything.
Thank you for that. Okay, go on.
Yeah, of course, because she spends a lot of time and she's really good at what she does. So, but what happens is the people would wait tables to be able to play for free in Nashville, which is not very much fun. And then when they lost their day job, they lost their night job, they started closing bars at 10. Mm-hmm. A lot of bars are not bars anymore. A lot of bars are restaurants or doctor's offices.
Yeah.
They're law offices, they're real estate offices now. It really killed it. It's Murder on Music Row. They predicted that one a long time ago. One of my favorite Pandora stations when I do some grilling is George Jones, Merle Haggard. Man, that's just a killer. And I know every song by heart, and I love to listen to it. And now we live on 35 acres. We have deer and all kind of animals, and we'll just drive around. And there's a bar, a buddy of mine opened. It's called Crossroads. They have crawfish. He has every kind of weird food you would ever imagine. I'll sit up on the hill, drop my tailgate, carry me some beer, and I'll sit out there with my dog. And we'll listen to the live bands across the way when we're down here. But
a lot of restaurants
Nashville
turn into venues.
They closed down Bluebird for a year and a half, and I actually sent them messages. I heard they were going to go and give up on their lease, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to make it happen, but I will take over your lease right now because I knew it was going to come back. You can't just kill music forever.
It's come back. It's definitely come back. We had a wonderful CMA week. We had our artists in town in Nashville, and we were over at one of our friend Rose Malello, she actually has
Cabana Taps.
She has Cabana Taps, and then she has Alley Taps. She's a venue owner.
But she's one of the strong ones. She fought it, dude. She filed a lawsuit against the city of Nashville to let her stay open and play live music. They put her behind a curtain, I went there one night.
A shower curtain.
A shower curtain they had to perform.
Yeah, it was like the band was on one side, there was a shower curtain, and then like the audience was on the other side.
I said, Rose, tear that crap down. I'll watch the door for you.
Yeah, but TJ was not afraid. He's like, I'll go and listen to bands. You know, I'll get the
I
interviews.
snuck my camera behind the shower curtain so I could share the artists.
Yeah.
Like they're playing.
So it wouldn't be like blurry, you know, when you
That's
watch
fine.
So it's just, entertainment was the first thing to go because everybody was so afraid.
It wasn't essential. So.
But what we thought was what you guys think the same thing. Radio is still there. COVID's not going to affect radio. So airplay. So that's when Jill said, let's concentrate. I said, let's start Skyping interviews. And Jill said, let's start concentrating.
And let's have people do Facebook Live takeovers on our Facebook page.
That's a great thing
from their
people
home.
do.
And they did that a lot. And then of course, like radio never stops, right? So
Nope.
we were like, we're still going strong. We're still going to do.
But it did. It killed a lot of the cool, like the old little bars. I like to go shoot pool and drink a Frosty mug. And there's a place in Bucksnort, Tennessee, about 30 minutes west on 40 of Nashville. And it's a biker bar. And I'm not a biker. I'm just not. But I'm not afraid to go in a bar.
Yeah.
And man, they had the Frosty mugs. Every time you order the beer, it's a Frosty mug. You go shoot pool and it's so smoky. That was fun. But they'll never get those places open. Those people took such financial.
Some places had to close.
I bet it was really hard where you guys are.
It was, and I'll tell you, this is what happened to us around here. So we have not really close to us, say in Murfreesboro where we're at. We had more of the. It was a restaurant that would actually have somebody set up in a corner and play music, and of course the restaurant served beer, wine, whatever. They might have mixed drinks. But our biggest music hub that had hit us, that opened back in 2019, and Tim and I actually, we work there now, is Weldon Mills Distillery. All right, Weldon Mills Distillery, when it first opened, was a big hub. It had an outdoor patio where we always had the band. As long as we had good weather, band was outside on the patio. It was great. It had that great environment. People came. Everybody enjoyed it. They had a great bar. It was a unique experience because it wasn't your typical closed-in nightclub style place.
Mm-hmm.
It had outside atmosphere to it. Well, here comes COVID right after the new year, shuts everything down. The distillery could open back up until I think it was 11 o'clock we had there for a while because it was a distillery and not a bar.
Right.
Yeah.
Wording. Well, what had happened during that time is it kind of messed up other bars that were in the area. We had other bars, and when I speak of the area, I'm speaking of Roanoke Rapids, which is basically our biggest, biggest place to us, as far as a metropolitan area.
A bigger city.
Yeah, right. It's a city of probably, I'd say 20,000 people. So they have several places in Roanoke Rapids now. You have a venue called Hux's, which is a dive bar with pool tables, and people are there basically 7 days a week until 2 a.m. in the morning. You have a place called Crickets, which is a dart room. Then you have now, because you don't have the music at Weldon Mills Distillery anymore, you have a big entertainment venue that's in town that two personal friends of mine own. It's called Fairwood Lanes. It is a major bowling alley. And I'll say that they spared no expense to make this a all-inclusive, huge entertainment hub. Not only do you have 18 great bowling lanes and an arcade to go with it, you have this bar and grill that has a huge, massive, phenomenal bar, great food. They took a corner of this place and dedicated it solely to staging for music, and now they've started building a outside stage and patio.
So cool. Yeah.
So they can bring it outside. So they've spared no expense to bring it there. And there's been live music every Saturday there.
Did they,
brings the community together.
did they live stream their shows at all? Did they have a live
Yeah,
show?
but you know what? We're going to be doing that because he goes there. I do not.
If they do, send
Yeah.
that out, man. I love to watch live stream
Share it.
places. Well, I'd also like to watch it, when I'm sitting around to see what else is going on out there. That's a fun environment. Now you said 80s bands. I like the 80s too. And I miss dance floors, man. There's no dance floors. It was a lot of
here.
Do what now?
We used to have those places like that here. We had a pub in town, and then we had a place up in Rock Rapids called Ix.
The bars now are just everybody crowded in together, and it's almost like a grunge mosh pit. And the
I don't
80s
know
was
if
great because you could have a rotation in the cowboy bar I went to with the tree in the middle. We'd do Cotton Eye Joe, we'd do two-stepping, and then we'd get in and sing, and then they would end, and then they would play a lot of 80s bands, a lot of Warrant, and all those, gosh, I mean, there's so many good bands back then, and it's so easy to get caught up. You said that you get caught up.
70s, 80s.
Yeah, I mean, there was so much good, and of course, Journey. Now there's the thing that Steve Perry might go on tour a little bit with Journey, so they're starting to sell tickets like crazy. It's
He's actually coming back.
And Loverboy is a constant interview. I could give y'all Loverboy's their PR person. They would love to do interviews. And
I'll be working for the weekend. I'll be too busy.
That's funny.
But yeah, I mean, we really like that, and those guys are still out there. I interviewed Rick Springfield one time, and he was actually really funny. And we talked about it, and we talked about Pandora and Spotify. And I didn't look at his one sheet. I just thought he talked like a guy, and we did, and we talked about it. There's so many things from the 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, and those people want to be heard, and they want a platform, and we try to give them that. And the music is going to last forever. And I'm not so sure about all the music that's on the radio right now. It's very hook-driven, and how many times can you sing the same lyric over? And the beautiful blonde-haired millionaire girls that are depressed in every song. It's like, sing a happy song.
I know.
Can we be happy for a minute? What are you depressed about?
I don't get it. There's some
Well,
artists
the
that I listen to
90s.
their names, so I'm like, I can't
There's
listen to
some.
them because I'm not.
Do not.
Not any of our artists. Our artists are awesome, all of them. But like some artists out there, they're super famous, but just for like singing breakup songs and like.
Well, you
Like
guys
Kip Winger,
can
man,
go.
like you said,
I don't get it.
Bocephus, his music is out there forever. Kip Winger, Winger was one of my favorite bands that was out there. Motley Crue, dude, you can't get any better than Motley Crue.
Man,
Oh,
Motley
no.
Crue was awesome.
I still listen
love
to them all the
Motley Crue.
time. Take a walk
Motley
on
Crue
Wild
was a
Side.
high speed. Let's just roll with it. I love it.
AC/DC, Thunderstruck. I mean, there's
Man.
my ringtone when Jill calls my phone is AC/DC, Black and Black. Or they're
Well,
in
you
a
know
meeting with
what's funny?
people. And everybody knows the song.
Jonesy from Australian Radio Indie, he has
Shoot the Thrill is basically my favorite AC/DC song.
Dave
Who was
Evans.
that?
Shoot the Thrill was my favorite AC/DC.
Oh, dude, that's a killer. Shoot through Mandy. Yeah,
That's right.
good. If I could sing like you, I would rip it too.
Like him? Oh my
We'd have
gosh.
karaoke night on your
He
show.
can sing.
I can believe
I
it.
can't hit that level. He said he sings more baritone. My voice is getting deeper as I get older too.
Really, mine's getting higher pitch. I'm going to sound like a chipmunk soon.
I can't do it.
Christmas time again.
They don't- On American Idol, that's what
Realize
everybody tries to
we-
hit. They try to get the Justin Timberlake. It's an octave I can't hit. I can't even pretend.
Yeah, or Maroon
All right,
5.
guys, close your eyes. I'm going to show you what I look like in Rock of Ages. Boom. There it
Oh
is.
my goodness.
Go
Hey,
listen.
that was a little quicker than his
Scar for
picture.
life.
His photo stayed up a little longer. I just want to let you know.
They are scarred for life.
Well, I'm glad I could help. Anytime.
Branded right here.
Yes. I mean, we can talk to these guys all night. We haven't even scratched the
They're
surface, and
amazing.
we're already
They are amazing.
20 minutes.
I like
past
your
the
story,
show.
man. I appreciate y'all talking to us. It's like a mutual
No, I
interview
think
thing
we
going
need
on.
to have you guys on again. We haven't even begun to talk about some
That's
of the
okay.
nuances.
You go to NashvilleEntertainmentWeekly.com, all social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can find us, Nashville Entertainment Weekly, first, and then records and PR. And Jill or me, we utilize our personal pages quite a bit.
TJ does a lot of our filming, our editing, putting the cameras in the microphone where they should be, and he films a lot of commercials, music videos for people, and then of course our feature film, and I do the radio calls, the radio interviews, meeting awesome guys like you guys. We appreciate you
I
guys.
don't know. What a cool connection.
Yeah, thank you so much for what you're doing for artists and for us too. We appreciate
you guys,
plugging
man.
our stuff.
Oh, no. Send it our way. Don't be shy. You asked me for something, you'll most
She's
likely
not
get
shy.
it. Huh?
She's not
I'm
shy. You don't
shy.
answer. She's going to call you back.
I'm sure she will.
You
So
said
tell
that you
Amanda
would
she's
do,
welcome.
yeah.
You tell
No.
Amanda she's looking for a platform. We'll debut it right here. No problem.
Yeah.
You
That
guys
would be
are you're doing a great service right now to independent artists and artists on the rise. And what you're doing, you're giving them a platform that nobody else will give them. They all want to be CMT. They want to be the big GACs and everything. But, I mean, they got to get somewhere. And you're taking them off the stage and letting people hear their story. What you're doing is probably more important than you realize.
Oh,
It's a big deal.
We appreciate
Well, thank
that.
you. Appreciate that.
We
And
really do.
you're not even on music scene. We're trying to perfect it so music scene can really grow.
Yeah, like you said, giving everybody a platform. Like, if they have a platform to talk about themselves, you guys are doing that, and that just like it brings them like a level up. So they appreciate it, and we appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you appreciating me.
It's a very appreciative group of people we have here tonight.
That's a lot of appreciation, Tim.
It is.
I just want to share. Can I say one thing? Can I share
Yeah,
something?
sure.
I'd like to share my appreciation with you guys at this point.
Fine.
Love
Have it your
Thank you
way.
for letting me share.
I appreciate you sharing that because I was actually going to.
I appreciate you including me in your interview.
I appreciate you being a part of this interview, and then waiting for us while we figured our life out. And
Hey,
We can
Phone
ramble
versus
for 5
laptop.
hours
I
straight. It's not a
appreciate that.
problem.
this would be the greatest show ever.
Welcome to the Appreciation Network. So
yeah,
Exactly.
now on StreamYard.
I can't do this
we
anymore.
appreciate you.
Listen, we're going to have you guys back on.
We definitely are.
Definitely.
That's too
And
funny,
soon,
man.
would you guys be interested in being on it again in a couple weeks when we're
Oh, yeah.
music scene?
For sure.
Yeah,
Because it'll be music driven. We'll have music videos, maybe something from Amanda or some of your artists. Jonesy
Thank
will
you.
send us stuff because we're kind of dry.
I would also like to flip the script and invite you guys to be on National Entertainment Weekly, which will help you build your group too.
please.
If y'all wanted to do that sometime. Is that
Anytime
okay?
you just reach out.
Okay. Jill will set it up and we'll find a good time.
All right. Well, guys,
Awesome.
thank you. Jill Santibanez, TJ Cates from National Entertainment Weekly, and a whole lot of other stuff that their bios like, woof.
Yeah,
That's right.
major.
See you guys. Thank you
All right,
again.
man. Thanks so much. Have
Thanks,
a great
guys.
night.
Appreciate
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye. That was awesome.
That was amazing. That was a great interview, man.
And we didn't even scratch the surface.
I
There's so
know.
much to talk about because,
So-
obviously they're steep, they're somewhere in our age group.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, though, is the connections and relationships that these guys have made with the artists in the area. We can only hope to achieve that at some point. I mean, we've made that good connection with our local guys that not only are they the artists that we go see, but they're our hangout buddies.
They are hanging out.
I hang out with RT. I hang out with Eric. I hang out with the guys in his band. I hang out with Martin.
Janice, Jim from Run and
Yeah,
Shine.
I mean, and we've got Run and Shine is going to be at Fairwood in the next. We need to pull that up, dude. Hold on, before we go off there, let me take a look here because I believe Fairwood has them soon. I
There it
really
is.
do.
It's November 26th.
So that means what's the day? The 20th?
No, November 26th. So we got a little bit
I'm talking
over
about today.
5 weeks, and Run and Shine's going to be at Fairwood Lanes.
they're going to
and
be at
Roanoke
Fairwood Lane. So
Rapids.
they'll be there the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Right.
Yeah. So make sure that you make plans to attend an event. They Run and Shine, our good friends from the Hampton Roads area. They have always brought a great show, very talented. Don't miss it. And Jim, Janice, crew, if you guys listening, can't wait to see you again.
All right, so we're going to roll for another 7 minutes so we make this an hour and a half show. Jonesy just messages from Astoria Radio Indy said that was a great interview, guys. Thank
Appreciate
you,
you,
Jonesy,
brother.
for saying that.
Jonesy is our comrade from down under, beautiful land of Australia. Jonesy's been one of our biggest supporters. He's helped us through this, and we want to give love back to Jonesy. Jonesy, we want to send you all the love in the world, man. You've been a very big help to us.
All right, so we're going to get back on local topics. We're going to cover some more events happening in Halifax County, North Carolina. If you're looking for the Halloween party to end all Halloween parties, October 29th from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m., Weldon Mills Distillery in Weldon, North Carolina. The Republic live $10 cover fee, costume contest, and just a whole lot of fun.
Make sure you make plans to attend that. That will be one of the live music events for that night. There will be not be a conflict with live music in another venue that I know of. So
Now, are you working that night or having fun
I
that
am
night?
working until 9 p.m.
Okay.
So it depends on how
I'm just there for fun.
tired I will be at that point.
Gotcha.
So I've got to see. Now, guys, I'll tell you what, in the same weekend, that Friday night, October 28th, go to Fairwood Lanes, The Switch, one of the major bands of our area. Larry and Artie, guys, love you. Two good friends of mine. They will be at Fairwood Lanes. Now, they always bring a fantastic show. They are a great cover band. They got a lot of great sound. They also have a great light show to go with it. The tech is amazing, so make plans to attend that as well.
All right, so other Halloween fun, trunk or treat for the kids happening on Sunday, October 30th from 2 to 4 p.m. out there at Fairwood Lanes and Misfits Bar and Grill in Roanoke Rapids. And the Weldon, the town of Weldon.
Don't forget one thing with that, with trunk or treat. Guys, if you want to be part of trunk or treat, you need to contact Fairwood Lanes if you would like to be one of the donation people to have the candy for the trunk. Please contact Fairwood Lanes well before that date. Do it.
All right, so the Weldon Police Department presents Trick or Treat, and that's happening Saturday, October 29th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at 111 Washington Avenue in Weldon, North Carolina. All right, let's get a little bit off Halloween for a minute. Oh, by the way, let me get back on Halloween. Sylvan Heights doing their Trick or Tweet because it is a bird park after all, and that's happening Monday, October 31st from 5 p.m. to 6
Can we roll back up 1 minute before we go too much further to talk about what's going to happen immediately this weekend? I just noticed it right there.
Yep.
So this weekend at Fairwood Lanes, October 22nd at 8 p.m., you're going to have live music from the after party, music from the 70s, 80s, 90s, all the way to current. So please make plans to attend that. Fairwood Lanes, with their selection of bands, never disappoints.
Exactly right. All right, so that's about it for Halloween. Don't forget Harvest Days out there in Halifax County happening this Saturday. It's a day event. And if you want to run 5 miles, be my guest. The Roanoke Canal Half is having its marathon 5K and half-mile run on November 5th.
A lot of great scenery out there to see if you do it.
You want to sign up, go to RoanokeCanal.com. All right, we're going to switch over real quick to our Southern Virginia friends, and then we will call it a day for the hangout. It's all about Halloween, okay? It's trunk or treat. No, let's not even talk about that. That's too selective. We are having Boo Bash. Now, I take the boys every year to Boo Bash in downtown Franklin, Main Street. Why? Because every business on Main Street gives out candy, and you see there's got to be 1,000 children there. They're lined up one side of Main Street over to the next.
It's like a parade.
It is like a parade. That's happening Thursday, October 27th from 5 to 6 p.m. in downtown Franklin. You can stay from 6 to 7 for the pumpkin painting or 7 to 8:30 for the movie in the park at Barrett's Landing, Hotel Transylvania. So, yeah. Oh, and by the way, the Sedley Volunteer Fire Department, they are infamous for their Halloween event, and that is coming up. And it is October 21st, 22nd, 28th, and 29th from 7:30 to 10:30 p.m. at 18080 Johnson Mill Road in Sedley, Virginia.
And you can rest assured that all that goes to a good donation.
Exactly right. Anyway, you know what? There's too much to list. If you want to know all the Halloween events, Christmas events, Halloween events, the upcoming concerts and music events, theater, you name it, we cover it. What's happening? Entertainment.com. And I want to thank our guests again, Jill Santibanez and TJ Cates from Nashville, Tennessee. Thank you so much. It means a lot for us for being on.
Great interview there. Appreciate it, guys. Pleasure meeting you both.
And don't forget, folks, we need the love just like anybody else. So if you would like to go to our YouTube channel, give us a subscribe and a like for any of our videos. It's under What's Happening Entertainment, or go over to Rumble, a nice alternative to YouTube. Again, under What's Happening Entertainment. You can catch our shows on Spotify and many other podcast platforms. And if you want a one-stop for it all, What's Happening Entertainment.com.
What's Happening Entertainment.com.
So Tony and I will be back next week with a brand new music scene. It's been about a month and a half. We will be coming back strong. Again, thank you guys, everybody, for joining our show. We love you.
Peace out.
We're out of here. Later.